Well, hello there and welcome to another episode of Temporary Australians. I'm Jonesy.
I'm Hirsty.
Looking well today, Greg.
Feeling good, mate.
We have an action-packed show. What's coming up today?
Sydney Expo. Fantastic it was. We ran into Robbie Maddison there too.
Yeah. Hey, isn't he amazing? Robbie Maddison.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Terrific. Also, I went on that ride for Steve. Remember our good mate Stephen Gates? We had a great charity ride for that. Also, other stuff's coming up on the show today. Have a look.
We continue our USA road trip. We ride around Las Vegas and then onto historic Route 66, onto the Grand Canyon, and finally into Kanab in Utah. We're at the Sydney Motorcycle Show, and if you ever wondered whether motorcycles are popular, just look at this crowd. Well, it looks like you're able to have some outdoor activity that you couldn't have had in Darling Harbour.
Yeah, no, we've got a bit going on here. We've got like the Enduro X, which is like a pretty intense little event out there in a little dome we've got going on. There's a lot of outdoor activities, you know, so much stunt riding and bits and pieces and test rides. It's good for everybody. We like to try and bring it to life a little bit.
What's been your highlight as far as the main manufacturers and the bikes they've been launching?
Everyone knows me as a Ducati man, but I love just going around and looking at all the new stuff and not just the bikes. I mean, we've got a lot of exhibitors here, like lots of great gear. So I mean, it's a great day out for the family, and also with the entertainment that we've got going on, it's pretty cool.
Mate, a lot of people to look at you and the bikes.
I hope they're looking at the bikes and not me, Greg. Seriously.
Are you getting a good reaction from potential customers?
Oh, fantastic reaction. Yeah, the new motorcycles, they've taken the production of the motorcycles up a notch and the people are loving it.
Well, this sort of show really does give opportunity to show off everything that's new in motorcycling.
It does. This is a brilliant event. It's the biggest event of the year, obviously, purely about motorcycles. It's run really, really well.
With the preview in Motor Guzzi this weekend, what's been the general reaction to your new models?
Greg, we've had a good positive reaction. We've released a few new models over the last few months.
It looks like the show's really taken off. There's a huge turnout today.
Fantastic crowd, everybody's in a good mood, everybody's happy to see the new models, and they can't believe that there's so much product available for them. They're spoiled for choice, they really are. Consumers are spoiled for choice at the moment, it's great.
We've got some great guests here this weekend, and one of them everybody loves to come and see is Robbie Maddison. I mean, he's an absolute legend. He does some of the craziest stuff, but it's great for the public to come along and see Robbie and meet him in real life.
It's awesome to be here and just see the motorcycle community of Australia come together, and there's so many rides and demonstrations, and you know, the public can get here and get interactive. It's a great thing for the motorcycle industry, and I'm stoked to support it.
Huge number of people have come through here. The line to see you and get your signature is huge.
Yeah, mate, it's awesome. It's great to see the support, and then just to meet all the fans here, and you know, everyone loves Pipe Dream and loves my videos, and it's cool to just meet the people who are supporting me and allow me to do what I do.
Now, I noticed you've got a Mad Max themed display here too.
Oh, I've seen the movie, of course, and I'm very good friends with Stephen Gore. I do a bit of training with Stephen, and I've had a look at some of the bikes down there, and they're pretty crazy and outlandish, but good to see so many different things here.
We've been absolutely flat out this morning. It's been awesome. As soon as the doors opened, we had a big rush of people come to the stand, so it was really full on.
We're actually taking riders' responses based on what they feel the issues out on the road are going to be for the next 12 months. A couple of the issues that are really coming to the fore are how can we make drivers more aware of riders that are out on the road. Loud pipes obviously being one issue that people would love to see. The other, of course, is driver distraction, getting people off their mobile phones.
You've even got a company that makes cafe races now.
Yeah, I mean, they're all retros. They're coming back in. I mean, there's so many different sorts of styles of these bikes around. I was just looking at this beautiful Triumph over here. It's absolutely beautiful. It's all swings and roundabouts and fads, and at the moment, the cafe racer, a sort of retro look, is back in, and the manufacturers are certainly playing on that.
We have found in our time here at Las Vegas, there's quite a strong motorcycle influence. We found a biker cafe across from where we're staying, and we found the Harley Davidson Cafe in the Strip. It's obvious too to us that there's an Australian influence here. A lot of Aussies seem to be coming over as part of a tourism package.
Yeah, we work a lot in Australia to get Aussies to come here because we find that Australians love to explore. They're not afraid to get behind the wheel and just see where the road takes them, and that's perfect for Nevada.
Las Vegas really seems to thrive on tourism and the gambling industry as well. It's amazing just how much money's been poured into the city.
Tourism is the #1 industry in the whole state of Nevada, and you can really see that evident in Las Vegas itself.
It's very deserty around Las Vegas. Is that typical of Nevada?
Pretty much, until you get into certain areas in the cities, it gets a little greener, but you're going to be out on a lot of flat land, a lot of flat road, a lot of straight roads. It's not known for its twisties.
Mike, this is an amazing setup, such a big space.
When it opened originally, it was actually the largest dealership in the world. There's been a dealership that's bigger now, but it's an awesome place, definitely. Still a special place.
I think the open plan is what sets it off, because you can actually see everything just as you walk in. Now, the hog group here seems pretty active from what I can tell.
Yeah, our hog chapter is great. They ride a lot of miles, and I always tell new owners that if you really want to ride, join our local hog chapter, because these guys are riding every week, at least once a week. Long rides, overnighters. They do a midweek ride that's not as long, so they do a lot of riding.
This dealership is one of the biggest in the world.
Yes, it is. If I'm not mistaken, I believe we are actually the 3rd largest now. The thing that separates us from other dealerships, we're about 106,000 square feet. So we are actually a little over 2 full acres indoor, 1 story. So it's definitely a big facility.
It sounds like there's a big population in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we have a pretty good population. There's a little over 1 million people in the entire city and surrounding areas as well. So we do stay pretty busy, all considering. We're probably one of the most busy shops in the country.
Now, you're riding a trike these days. Tell us about it.
I love my trike. I rode 2 wheels for 18 years, and just 2 years ago I switched to the Tri-Glide, and it's so much nicer. You know, the older you get kind of weak in the knees and not quite as strong, but with the Tri-Glide you can keep on riding, and I hope I'm riding when I'm in my 90s.
It sounds like you've got a bit of a personal relationship with your Tri-Glide. You've even named it.
Yes, my Tri-Glide is named Ruby, and I have a little bear on the back of it, and his name is Rusty.
How do the hog members here react to names on bikes and names on bears?
I would say most of them name their bikes. If you really like to ride, your bike is a very important part of your life.
So a bit of an extension, really, of the person, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Now tell us about the bike you ride.
It's a 08 Road Glide. It's that bright orange, and I'm a real fan of the old Doors band, Jim Morrison, so I had a custom paint job done on it as a kind of a tribute to him as the Lizard King. I had all these lizard things put all over it. And I get a lot of people looking at it, and that's for sure.
You've got your wife's permission, I presume?
And my wife's also, her bike is a black one like this, and she's got all lime green skulls and flames on it. She gets a lot of looks also when she pulls up in her parking lot. She's only like 5'4", and she's pushing around a 900-pound bike, and it's fun. It's fun riding together.
We've been making good time from Los Angeles through Nevada into Arizona on the motorways, but it's time to go off-road. We're going to hit the old Route 66 at Kingman. It's well signposted, and there's even a museum here. But we're looking forward to seeing the road as it was back in the 1920s. Route 66 is an iconic road in America. Where does it run from?
From Chicago to LA, just like the song says.
So is it all back roads, or has it been absorbed into some of the freeways now?
I was just on it not too long ago. I was going the opposite direction, and you know, there's a big chunk that's really Interstate 40, but there's still a lot of great little villages, and there's lots of signage now that kind of divert you so you go through the village instead of taking the main freeway.
1926, it was dedicated as a highway, and it was the first longest highway across the U.S. People going anywhere between Chicago and California pretty much did Route 66 because it was a complete thoroughfare the whole way.
So it's been an iconic feature of your culture since then?
Yeah, and what's interesting is I think more foreigners know about Route 66 than Americans. I find that very interesting.
But why do you think that is?
When I saw the movie Cars come out at Pixar, I said, oh my God, we're going to be inundated with people from around the world that want to ride Route 66. And that's what happened.
It's just so historically rich. You could do something like 60 to 70% from Chicago to California on the old road. You'd cross the interstate here and there, and then it would run out the old road. Then you could pick it up further. And it's just amazing.
Route 66 is you're going to find it being in from Kingman to Williams. It's a good road, but it's going to be a little potholey. You're going to have to watch your potholes.
You get a lot of bikers going up there?
Yes, that's very popular, and the bikers come from all over the world to ride on Route 66. That's one of my favorite rides.
There's probably 25 to 30 different tour groups that come regularly throughout the season. Some come with 2 or 3 bikers, others with 15, 20 bikers.
What do you think the attraction is of Route 66?
Oh, it's Americana. The route and 90s, 50s, and 60s music that you hear playing. And I think the Europeans and Australians and New Zealanders, they all love Route 66 and a little bit of the US. Here in Arizona, we're lucky to have the longest remaining stretch of 66, which is between Seligman, going 65 miles to the east, and Topak, which is on the Colorado River, about 70, 80 miles to the west. And we've got that longest remaining stretch across the whole country, so we're pretty lucky here in Arizona.
Once you get up toward the Grand Canyon, it's absolutely gorgeous. The pine trees, you can smell the pines, and it's a beautiful ride. I've been up there many, many, many times, and I love it. I love the Grand Canyon.
Is that very popular, that ride with riders?
You'll see quite a few bikes up there, and a lot of people are admiring the bikes too.
Yeah, this seems to be a place that bikers like to come.
We love riding motorcycles, and this is great riding motorcycle country. There's lots of places to ride, not so much traffic, and the views are beautiful.
Now tell us about the highlights of the Grand Canyon Village and the views.
On a bike, it's so simple to go along the rim. You can stop anywhere, lots of traffic, no problem. You can stop, you can see, enjoy.
I understand that there's tours that operate there as well.
Yes, there's buses full of people that come from all over the world. A lot of different kind of situations and opportunities to go see things that maybe you would not ever have the opportunity to see.
Are there particular lookouts you can recommend there?
Well, a motorcycle would be going to the East Rim Drive and stopping in some of these areas. Because most of the people just go right in the South Rim and they don't really get to see the other stuff.
So the East Rim, is that on the road that heads to Kanab?
Yes, you'll go to Cameron and to Page, but beautiful drive.
Visiting the Grand Canyon is a must-do. The views along the rim are awesome. Riding off the plateau down into Cameron, Arizona is spectacular. And it gets even better when you ride into Utah and hit the canyon roads. Oh, howdy. We've arrived in Kanab in Utah. It's famous for the old sets that they used in some of the classic Western movies. It's also a place that riders love to come, and some of the locals will tell us why.
Our number one priority is to make Kanab a destination location for people from all over the world to visit. We have so many different scenic opportunities that this is a place you can come and stay for 7 days and never see the same thing.
It seems to attract a lot of motorcycle riders too.
It is a popular destination. The weather is good to ride in. Obviously, we have our 3 national parks. We have Zion National Park, and we have Bryce Canyon National Park, and we have the Grand Canyon National Park. So it's a great place to ride.
Interesting to find out that there's been a bit of a movie history around Kanab.
You know, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we made a lot of westerns here. Probably the most popular one was Outlaw Josie Wales with Clint Eastwood. That was filmed here. Anybody that's made a western has been in Kanab. Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne, Ronald Reagan. Over 200 western movies were filmed here.
Now, it's not every day you run into an American policeman. He looks more like a biker than he does a public servant, but we found one, and he's a police chief in Kanab. Tom, how long have you been riding?
Bought a Yamaha motorcycle when I was right out of high school. And then I got married, had children, had to give up riding for a while, but the scenery here is so beautiful I had to get back into it because it's just not the same from a car. It's one of the greatest places in the world to ride a motorcycle.
My wife and I moved here back about 10 years ago because we just fell in love with the roads and the scenery and the people here.
Well, where do you like to ride the best around here?
Oh, that's a hard. Kanab puts you right in the middle of all the good stuff. We like to do quick day trips out to Lake Powell and then back over to Kanab, or else north up to Highway 12, which is probably one of the best motorcycle roads in the country.
So tell us about your bike.
This is probably my 10th BMW. It's a 2010 RT. It's just turning 50,000 miles. I've probably put 500,000 miles on BMWs doing long distance touring.
What is it about BMWs you find so attractive? I mean, in a country where hogs are so well known?
Well, you know, I grew up riding Hondas and stuff like that when I was a kid, and then when I went to college I wanted something that was lightweight and reliable and then had a reputation for long distance touring, and I found these to be pretty reliable machines.
One of the things you need if you're an Australian in this part of the world is a translator. So we've got Camille here, who we've been teaching some Aussie terms so that she'll be able to explain it when Temporary Australians gets on air in the USA. How have you found understanding the Aussie dialect?
Oh my gosh, there are totally different words. So you guys have had to teach me, obviously, but I'm starting to pick up on it a little bit.
Do you get a lot of bikers coming through town?
We get a ton of bikers coming through town. If I was smart, I would quit tourism and open up a business for bikers.
What's the attraction, do you think, for the area like Kanab for riders to come here?
It's so amazing. In every direction, there's scenery of all varieties. So Kanab's located in the middle of the greatest concentration of natural wonders probably anywhere in the world. So people will come here and use it as a base camp. You know, they can stay here, unpack once, and go in any direction and have a new, amazing ride.
So if any Aussie riders want to come through Kanab, what would you say to them?
Let's see. G'day, mate.
When we came up with the name for this TV show, Temporary Australians, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek. It had been a long-held sledge that car drivers used towards motorcyclists. And over time, we kind of even forgot about the true impact of that particular name. And it's not until something happens, like a friend of yours is killed on a motorcycle or you come off yourself, the reality is there. And that's why we're here today at Robertson Pie Shop. A good friend of ours, Stephen Gates, survived a pretty horrific motorcycle accident a year and a half ago, then only to be killed in one some 4 months later that wasn't as bad. And I guess it's the capricious nature of riding a motorcycle. You know, I ride every day, but when Steve died, it really hit me. I thought, we've got to think about our last ride. Stephen Gates was only 32 years of age, and we're talking to Amanda, his widow. Amanda, thanks for having us along today, and condolences. Steve was a great guy. Was it like any other day when...
Yeah, I was at home with the kids and got the phone call. Didn't know what had happened, just that he had been in an accident. So I got the kids up, dressed and on the way, and then I rang the hospital and they told me on the phone.
I can't comprehend how you would feel. Like I knew Steve, and we both had accidents pretty much at the same time, and we were joking about how lucky we are to walk away. And his accident was horrendous. You know, he pretty much Superman on the front of a car on the Macquarie Pass, and he walked away from that pretty much. But I think what hit me in the solar plexus is you can do that and you can joke about, oh, I walked away from that one, but then you can have sort of an accident on a small bike, not going really fast, and that can take you away.
That's right. You never know which accident's your last one, really.
What have you taken, like obviously the loss of a husband?
Me 15 months to get back on a bike. I'm a lot more aware now, a lot more aware when riding.
I never, ever feel so alive as when I'm riding a motorbike. Your attention span is concentrated, you're looking out for hazards, and it makes my heart sing. It really does. But what happened to Steve was just unfortunate.
Exactly, and that's why we remember Steve on days like today. We love to ride.
That's it, yeah, Ride for Steve. We're raising awareness amongst drivers in the Illawarra region, and it's been proven that the more people know someone who rides a bike, the more aware of motorcycles they are. So to create awareness like this, it's been proven that it works.
Well, what a great ride, Amanda. It must have felt strange for you?
Emotional, in the same way, awesome.
What does that particular stretch of road mean to you?
That's where he taught me. That's where we rode that nearly every weekend.
So you'd go out there every weekend?
We'd get there different ways. We'd go through Kangaroo Valley, all sorts of things.
And you must be so pleased with yourself, the amount of the turnout. You said to me, oh yeah, hopefully we'll get 30 or 50 people. I would say there's at least 100 people here, even more.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised.
Well, I guess it's the legacy that Steve left for us.
Shows you how good a bloke he really was.
Well, Amanda, thank you for having us.
Thank you. No, thank you for coming.
Wow, your life truly does spin on the head of a pin, doesn't it, Greg?
Sure does, mate.
We dedicate this episode to Stephen Gates. We will be back, however, next week with more Temporary Australians. Looking forward to that. If you want to check us out, you can do temporaryaustralians.com.au. Until next week, shiny side up.
See ya.